Howdy y'all, and welcome back to my little corner of the world, and I Am a Champion, my series where this year I'm talking mostly about things I love about the Paralympics. Now, please bear in mind that my brain is kind of working slowly, so I apologize for any flubs in advance. I won't be able to edit them out, so have fun! Today I wanted to talk to you about one thing that is highly fascinating to me, the sit ski. Now, first of all, the sit skis are different than the sled or the sledge, which is used on ice. So I'm not going to talk much about that because I haven't really gotten to hear or read or see enough about how those work to talk very informatively about them. But basically, if you hear the term sleigh, sled, or sledge, depending on the announcer, they are talking about an apparatus used for ice. The sit ski, however, is used for the snow disciplines in the Paralympic sports, as well as other adaptive sports that are done on the snow. So here we go. I'm not an expert. I am a fascinated I am an individual who is highly fascinated by what I watch and the ability to learn about new things. And this is one of them, the sit ski. So what is the sit ski? What are you seeing here? Well, this is a cross-country sit ski. Cross-country are basically the disciplines that are going to be really long skiing, and you will typically see them do this motion. Whether they're in the sit ski or in the standing position, you will see them with much longer poles, and they will use them to propel themselves in some manner. Now, with standing position, you're able to use your legs, and there are two different ways to actually use your legs to help you out. I won't go too much into that because today I'm talking to you about this, the sit ski. For sit ski, you don't have the use of your legs. Instead, you have your apparatus that you are sitting on. I'll get more into that in a minute. And you have two skis directly underneath you, going in front and behind you. What is super impressive about this, oh yes, and of course, your long poles to go like this. You will go very long distances, both uphill and down, and these are also used for the biathlons, which include shooting. When you get to the shooting range, you have to get onto your belly or prone, and your whole apparatus from here down, including the skis, are going to be behind you. Imagine sitting on your belly with your feet behind you, but you have a whole chair attached to it. That's what they have to do. And then they have to calm themselves, get their breathing under control, take a deep breath, and shoot, and hope not to miss. Because if you do miss in biathlon, for every shot that you miss your target, you have to go a loop of a designated distance. If you miss one, you only have to do that loop once. If you miss two or three, you have to do that loop twice or three times. And that not only eats up your time, but your energy. And then you have to continue your loop, go back to the shooting range, and repeat. Back to the sit ski. So how does the sit ski work? Now, every individual athlete will have their own seat area. I do not know the terminology for this, so for the purpose of this video, I'm calling it the seat. Each athlete will have their own seat tailor-made for them. And some use more plastic-looking materials, some choose for more of a metal frame, some choose to sit with their feet underneath them, others choose to have their feet outstretched. There are some that are amputated limbs, and so you'll only see the portion that is there. There are others, though I haven't seen it very commonly, so it seems more uncommon, that will sit with their legs just down, as if they're sitting in a chair like you and I regularly. All of these seating positions will have them strapped very, very well into their seat. So it's not just going to suddenly pop off of them while they're skiing. They use their arms and their poles to propel them. They don't have the use of their legs. So unlike most cross-country skiing, which uses the whole body, they're only able to use from here up. And there are some athletes who are unable to really have the use of their core muscles, otherwise known in the sports field as the trunk. So imagine you don't have any use of any of this. That means you are going 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 15 kilometers. If you don't know how long that is, I would Google it, because I can't help you very well because I just keep hearing these terms and I know that it's at least 3 miles plus. I'm not good with the math there, but I do know it's a long distance. Now imagine not having any use or very little use of your core or your trunk and having to do all of that with your upper body in this motion for that long of a distance. And if you're a biathlete, you're also then having to get down and up and down and up and increasing your distance because of the loops if you miss a shot. If you don't have respect for cross-country sit skiers yet, I don't know what can give you it, because I have mad respect for watching them. I actually enjoy watching the sit ski cross-country way more than the able-bodied cross-country, because it just blows my mind that they can even do it. I was in a wheelchair for about 4 or 5 years of my life, off and on, and I remember I was about maybe 60 to 100 pounds. That was my weight at the time that I was a wheelchair-bound person, and trying to go up any hill was so much of an effort, and they have to do it on their own with just their skis. And remember, they have 2 skis directly underneath them, so turns, I mean, I still can't get my head around how they do some of these turns. The wide turns are one thing, they can kind of use their poles to do it, but they have some really sharp turns that they basically have to just torque their body to get their ski to kind of gradually do that motion to get it into a turn. It's mind-blowing to watch. So that is the cross-country sit ski. Next we have this is the Alpine Sit Ski, or at least this is one version of the Alpine Sit Ski. What is the Alpine? Well, Alpine disciplines are anything where you're basically throwing yourself down a hill. Well, you're not throwing yourself, but you're skiing down a hill at a very fast clip going like this. That includes many different disciplines, like, well, downhill, which I usually tend to call it because that's what comes to my mind first. Slalom, super G, super combined. Basically, you're skiing down a big hill. Ta-da! And you're in this. This is the Alpine's version of a sit ski. Now, why is this different than the cross country? Well, here's a big difference. There's only one ski directly underneath the athlete. So right down the middle of their body, there is one ski to do most of the work. Now, I'm saying most of the work because they also have something called outriggers, which are attached to both arms. And it's kind of like the arm canes that you see, not the kind that the crutches that are all the way up to the armpit, but the kind that, attaches around here. You can see it right here. This is where the top of the outrigger is for this athlete. His hand is on a bracing situation here. I don't have the name for it offhand, I apologize. And here's the bottom of the outrigger. Now here's what's interesting about outriggers. So remember that cane. It attaches here, you hold on to the handle over here, and it comes down. Now there are 2 different positions that any outrigger has. First, there is the position where the bottom of the outrigger, instead of a blunt ending, outriggers are more of a smooth, flattish ending with a bit of a curve at the end. And when they have it flush against the length of their pole or their outrigger cane, when they have it in that position, they can actually put it down into the snow and push off, and that can help them push out of the start gate. That can actually even help them when they're on flat surfaces, try to move along as if kind of like, well, ski poles would. But the second version or position that the outrigger can be in, after they tap the end of it, comes out, and it's kind of like a miniature ski itself. It seems to be about this long. I could be off a bit because, well, television adds pounds and lengths or takes away. But it seems roughly about this long, and it's an extension of their outriggers, so they use it to guide themselves down the hills. Now, one might say, well, doesn't that mean that they have 3 skis? Isn't that kind of an unfair advantage? Yes and no. It does look a bit like miniature skis. I totally think that. However, if you think about the weight distribution, your real weight, your real body movement is going to come in the form of this ski. This is what's going to have the major weight and mass on top of it. So this is really what is doing most of your work, and your outriggers are helping you with your balance and helping you to really navigate the course a bit, but not weighted navigation. I don't know if that made sense, but I hope that it kind of did. What is super impressive is watching this kind of sit ski try and go down and maneuver tight turns. Because again, it's only got one ski on it, and all of your weight is in the middle. Like, the ski is in the middle, and all of your weight is on top of it. So trying to maneuver intricate turns, usually an able-bodied person has 2 skis, and they're able to gently, together with the 2 skis, make each turn with poles and their skis. Whereas a sit ski, you have one underneath you, and almost every time you turn, you kind of stop yourself a little bit, but you don't at the same time. And I don't know how they continue to make speed and make turns. It just seems to defy scientific logic to me. It's really impressive to watch the super combined, if you're able to somehow find one of these, the super combined slalom. And watch the sit skis. Now, it might seem slow compared to an able-bodied combined slalom, but think about how a ski works and how it stops and starts itself. That they can even do it is absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, I am highly impressed and fascinated by how the sit skis work, who figured out how to make them. The other thing you might notice, by the way, is the top of the ski also looks quite different than the cross-country skis. They're looking for more aerodynamics because they're going for speed. So predominantly, this is very much what it will look like. There are some, however, that still do have their legs underneath them rather than out. And again, you will have some amputees, so it will, like, the legs won't come in front, but they will have a guard or shield in front, both to protect them from when they do the slalom and also to help with the aerodynamic airstream. So there you go. And that is one thing I am highly fascinated about the Paralympics. Thanks for watching thus far. Sorry this was a long video, but how do you say all of this in a short video? I just don't know. I hope you learned something today. Drop something in the comments about something you love about the Paralympics, something maybe that you've learned that you didn't know about, or maybe what is your favorite snow sport in the Winter Olympics. Keep all comments in love, please. God bless, and ciao for now. Bye!